Welcome everyone to It Tastes Different Game Reviews. In this episode, we're going to review Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal was developed by Blizzard Entertainment and NetEase. It was published by Blizzard Entertainment. It came out on June 2nd, 2022. It is an action, role-playing, massively multiplayer phone game that you can also play on your PC. So it came out for Android, iOS, and PC. And it follows Diablo. This one is actually a storyline in between Diablo 2, between the events of Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. So it's right in the center there. Before Diablo 3 stuff happens. And it is a mobile game. Keep that in mind. We're going to go around and see what everybody thought of this game. So, Pat, what did you think of Diablo Immortal?
They had something good. I want to say that. They had something good because it's a good game. It plays good until you start leveling up. And then you get smacked with, hey, you should pay some money so you can unlock this. You should pay some more money so you can unlock this. The higher level you get, the more that seems to be in your face. Early on in the game, it wasn't really there. It was just kind of I know it's there, but they didn't really hit you with it until I'd say once you hit about level 20 or 25 or something like that, you start getting a lot of pay extra money so you can get extra gear out of this run and stupid stuff like that. But I mean, it's a great game. It plays great on my phone. It plays all right on the PC. I do prefer it does play much better on the mobile. You could tell it was designed for the mobile, in my opinion. Great graphics. Pretty interesting storyline, but it's a damn mobile game, so it's got that going against it. And, and unfortunately it's got all the bad things that come along with the mobile game, which is crazy, massive amounts of spending money if you want to get anywhere. So, that's kind of my early take on it. Shane, what'd you think of this game? I mean, I don't know how much of the other Diablo games that you played before this, but what'd you think about Diablo on your phone?
I played 2 and 3, but I'm not as big into Diablo as you guys. But I definitely have to agree. It played quite a bit better on the phone. And for this group to complement a phone game in any freaking fashion is pretty astounding. So, it has that going for it. I've sat and I played it on a lunch break. I've sat and played it in my car waiting for, wife to come out of the store or whatever. Play it in the bathroom, obviously. I mean, it's a good pooping game. It really is. It works well, plays well. The story is good. The gameplay is good. It's just like Pat said, though. You hit mid-late 20s and then, hey, give me $1. Hey, give me $1. Hey, give me another $1. And that's what we knew and was worried was going to happen with this game. There was an article it was going to cost $110,000 to fully equip a character. I can't remember how the whole thing worked, but that's ridiculous no matter what fashion it is. It's a cash grab. It's a well done cash grab, though. That's the problem. I really enjoy this game. I really enjoy it, but I cannot pay money in game crap just to speed up a level or be able to equip certain armors and stuff. I can't do it. It's ridiculous to be doing that in a game of this type, especially for a Diablo. It should have never been a mobile game, or it should never been a cash grab game, because they made a great game. They just shouldn't have made it pay to win. So that's my initial take. What about you, Nick?
Yeah, pretty much the same as you guys. I think the game is pretty fun for overall, and I think graphically it looks really good for a mobile title. But that's the problem. It is a mobile game, and the monetization in this game is horrific. And it really sucks to see that. I mean, I think otherwise Blizzard has made a good kind of Diablo kind of spin-off. I feel like this is more of a spin-off since it kind of takes place between 2 and 3, even though it does kind of follow along with the storyline. It feels like just kind of like a side quest, right? Because 2 and 3 has already been told, so let's just tell a story in between. But I think overall, the game does play really well on the phone. And I hate mobile games, and this game actually does play really well on the phone. I mean, the way they designed the interface and everything to work, it works really. And I agree with Pat. I think it works better on your phone than it does with PC, and that kind of sucks for the PC side, because on the PC side, it's when you play it on your computer, it's pretty bad as far as how everything interacts and stuff like that. It's definitely a port of the mobile game just onto a bigger screen is really what it feels like. There was no like changes done or, alterations or a different client in a way. It was really much just like, this is the mobile client, but stuck onto your computer, because it still tells you to tap things. It still, everything is still in the same spot. This is kind of a more, it is on mobile, so it is more of a simplistic Diablo game, right? They don't have a mana system. You don't really have a skill tree that you're putting points into. Just skills unlock as you progress in levels, and it's really about that in game. And you guys are right. Once you get to a certain spot, the game really heavily starts telling you to purchase stuff, and you get to a certain point in the game about midway through. You can get up to level 60, so it's up to level 60 for this game. About midway through, you realize that unless you spend money, you're not going to make it very far, right? It's going to take a long time to get where you want to go unless you put money into the game. And then at that point, that's where you make a decision on whether or not you start spending money or you don't. And my whole thing is don't. Right? Don't spend any money. And ultimately don't play this game. So I think Blizzard did make a good game here, but the monetization's horrible. And the other thing is that makes me worry about the future of Diablo with Diablo 4, soon on the horizon, how they're going to monetize that game. They say, people were asking, and they said only cosmetics and expansions, but, we'll believe it when we see it. So, but yeah, that's my initial take. Like it's a pretty good mobile game, but I hope it dies in Diablo fire. So, yeah. What else do you guys have to say about the game?
It's horrible they did this to a great franchise. Diablo has always been one of the great loot chaser games. It's the definition of RNG, right? You're after that perfect set. It's the whole reason why Diablo's seasons have been so successful, because every time a new season was coming out the longest time in the current Diablo, I would play a different character. So I'd get a different set of armor, transfer some Paragon points over to my mains and stuff like that at the end of the season and things like that. So I played a lot of the seasons and things like that with the Diablo, but I don't like where this has gone, because it is popular out there. There's a lot of people playing. Every time I was playing it, there's tons of people running around. There's people everywhere when you're in the zones. And there's plenty of people that I see with the shield around their name, which I know they paid money to get that shield. And I'm like, God, stop paying money for this crap, because you're just giving them what they want. And I don't know how a game like this can exist, to be honest with you, because the way that they have put their monetization together, there's a chance to it, and the whole YouTuber guy, I can't remember his name, did the video shortly after it came out, where he spent I can't remember how much money, and he got no legendary gems. And I'm like, that's BS. So it's a chance. You're randoming a chance, which I thought, that's gambling. You're putting in for a chance to get this, and stuff like that. In my opinion,
I think he spent $10,000.
It was an insane, stupid amount. And I'm like, that's stupid. Let alone, that's his source of income, right? Is to making the videos. So, whatever to him. But it's so stupid that they can monetize games like this. In my entire WoW career, which is the longest I've ever played any game, I guarantee you I'd even come to cost half of that amount of money spent on that damn game, and to spend $10,000 to try to get some legendary gems so that he can power up and be more powerful. And I'm like, no, but it's what these guys are. It's what Blizzard and them have put out there now, and I'm afraid that it's a blemish on the franchise, in my opinion. It's a really good game, but it's got a red scarlet letter against it, and that's the paywall that they put it behind. And not to mention there was another. I don't know if you guys saw the article that came out, or when was this one? It was a couple days ago, where there's hidden things against free-to-play players. Like after like so many dungeon runs, legendary drops stop going, and it's been proven that it's something that they have locked. Like after you run like four or six, I can't remember how many dungeons it was, the chance for legendary drops just basically plummets to next to nothing, and things like that. So they are basically doing things to slow you down as a free-to-play player. If you don't spend any money, they're going to basically put these soft hidden caps against you, which is, legendary drop rates decrease, random events stop giving you those type of rewards after so many days. I think he was saying it was like 5. It wasn't some huge number like running 20 of them. It was like 5. You run 5 in a day, boom, there goes your deal. And same thing with gems. After the first 6 gems or something drops, it's pretty much no more for the rest of the day. So Blizzard is doing a bunch of shady shit. Everybody's calling them out on it. The game is currently rated at like one of the worst games ever on Metacritic because of this, which is, Metacritic.
Yeah, I think it has like a 0.3 for user rating on Metacritic.
Yeah,
I think.
Which, Metacritic has become somewhat toxic anyway, sometimes with the way people review bomb things. But this game, in my opinion, deserves it. As much as praise I'm giving it for how beautiful it looks, how well it plays, they pretty much did like 10 steps forward and like 99 steps backwards with this. I mean, so you got a negative 90 score for this game because of that, in my opinion. And after this review, I'm done with it because I don't want to waste my time on it. I don't want to be enticed to pay any money because I will not pay just so I can have a leg up in PvP and in stuff like that. So it's a waste of anyone's time and money. Is if you wanted to put out a game on mobile and you wanted to charge for it, then charge for it, but don't put a paywall with stuff behind it. Don't make it a free game and then make it to where you got to pay thousands of dollars to get anywhere. That stuff just irks me off. And Blizzard gets everything they deserve by this. All the fans' hatred and vitriol is deserved, in my opinion.
So tell us how you feel. Yeah, I mean, Pat's not wrong. We've all praised the game itself for the most part, but it's the dirtiness of pay to win, dirtiness of pay to play. And it's worse when it's mired by the fact that if you don't pay to play, you are punished. And that's BS. I mean, that's just wrong. And there should be a law against it, honestly. It is what it is, because unfortunately, this is the way games are going. It's starting to go this way on PC and console, where, you're getting hit with all these things that you should buy and need to buy. And it's disgusting. I buy a game for $60, $70 if it's PlayStation. That's it. That's all you're going to get from me. I'm not buying armor sets and DLC, and I'm not going to buy a gym just so I can go to this area over here. It's a BS thing that they're doing. To me, DLC should be something that was made after the game was made, not something that was made during, and then, we'll put it out later for $60 again. That just chaps my ass. So,
well, there's a huge disconnect, right? All these game reviewers are giving this game like massive, like they're giving the game huge props, right? I mean, that's what I'm seeing everywhere. Every game review site is giving this game like excellent. It's a great game. And I'm like, but you're completely ignoring the fact that they're basically trying to force you to pay hundreds of dollars for a game that's quite frankly not worth it. So all these reviewers, when you look at all these reviewers, they're either one of two things is happening. They're either one of three things. They're either getting paid for their review or they have no clue what a video game is. And the integrity that comes with what I would consider the responsibility of a game developer. Because Blizzard used to be like the pinnacle of game design, right? We had WoW, we had StarCraft, we've had Heroes of the Storm, we've had Hearthstone, we've had Diablo, for crying out loud, Diablo. And they decided to take that beloved franchise and just dump all over it by making it a pay-to-play game, a pay-to-win, I should say. You don't have to pay to play it, but if you want to rank up fast and own in PvP, then by all means, run higher risk by getting more resonance through your legendary gems and crap. It's just garbage. And like I said, there's a huge discrepancy, right? If users are scoring this game at a 0.5 on Metacritic and the overall actual critic reviews is a 71, the critics are out of touch with what gamers want and what gamers do. The bad thing about it is there are going to be people out there who pay money to play it. That's just the way it is, right? No matter what's out there, it's the dumbest mobile game ever to come out. People are paying money so they don't have to see ads or whatever. And this game here is just pay more money to be more powerful. So shame on you, Blizzard. I hope Phil Spencer comes in there and anybody just comes in there and cleans house. Says, what's wrong with you guys?
Yep, I agree. Give Phil the broom, let him go to town, and then give somebody else the broom.
They need to basically wipe the. I mean, they won't. They spent too much money on it, but they need to wipe this game off the face of their front. But
yeah, well, I mean, mobile games are pretty money grabby to begin with, and I understand that's just the genre of mobile, but I mean, a lot of what they're doing with this is just too far, just too far, in my opinion.
Yeah, and one of the shady things too, and this may go for some of the reviewers that you were talking about, the critics, the critical reviews out there, they got early access to Diablo Immortal, and at the time, none of the microtransactions were in place. So none of them were there, but they weren't there, right? And so for some reviewers, some sites I know did hold off on it until it launched, so they could review that portion of it. So that might have lowered the score for some. But some may have put it out there before that, to get the review out there when none of that microtransaction stuff was in place. But I want to go over the game. So the game does have PvP, like you said. It does have challenge rifts and it has elder rifts. And basically in the elder rifts, that's the main rift system. If you're familiar with Diablo had greater rifts. These is kind of the same thing. And basically you put these like what do they call them? What are those faces? The amulets or whatever inside there? I can't remember what they call them.
Yeah, there's different ranking of those. There's different ranking of those runes and stuff.
Yeah. So what a YouTuber, I don't know if you guys have ever seen him, called Josh Strife Hayes. He's a YouTuber that does MMOs and various things like that. And he had found with Diablo, which I think this is like the craziest thing, right? You get these. So Diablo also has a marketplace, and in the marketplace you can sell gems, right? So what he found was this game has a battle pass, has a free battle pass that you can unlock stuff in. It also has a pay for battle pass. It also has the boons of plenty, which is basically you get daily rewards. It means you get extra stuff with this. It basically just gives you extra crap that you also have to pay for if you want to. The crappy stupid thing about that is if you miss a day, you don't get that. Right, you just miss out on those items for that day, even though you're paying like $10 a month or something on top of like a battle pass is $20 a month or $15 a month. But anyway, what he found was you get these greater runes that you go in there, and there's blue runes and purple runes that you go into the greater rifts with, and the purple runes give you a higher chance of dropping items. Even though it shows that you can attach 3 runes, you can actually attach up to 10 runes to these rifts. But what he found, and this is the shadiest crap I've ever seen, what he found is even with the ones that you get through the battle pass or whatever, like there's daily ones that you get sometimes with like the boons of plenty, and if you pay for the battle pass, you'll get those on certain days as well. And with other things, you can get them too. The purple gems, right, to go into these rifts.
Yeah, the crests.
So the crests, right. So he had found that, and you got to read the text, because what he found is basically all the ones that you get through that, the gems that drop are bound to you, meaning that when you go to the marketplace, you cannot sell them. The only way you can get gems that drop that are not bound is you have to buy the pearls out of the shop and buy the runes with those pearls. And those are non-bound. And that's it. That's the only way. So even though the game's giving you all this, you can't utilize the marketplace and sell your gems off that you don't want without actually going to the marketplace, buying gems, buying pearls, which is one of the many currencies in this game. This game is full of currencies. To buy just those Greater Rift runes, crests, and then you can get unbound gems to sell in the marketplace. That is some shady crap. And you don't know that either unless you just read the tooltip to the side. It does say that in the tooltip. So granted, it does say it, but most people are thinking, the images are different. They are different. The crests are different. Yet they look almost exactly the same. They're both purple. They're both a face. It's just the crest on the outside is a little bit different than the other ones. The bound versus the non-bound crest. So without, carefully looking at it, you wouldn't notice the difference and be like, oh, okay, and chip them in there. Like, why can't I sell these runes off? It's the scummiest stuff you've ever seen. This game is just full of scum.
Yeah. Well, at least now I know what the D in Diablo stands for.
Douchebags.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Blizzard has kind of tarnished their name. I mean, Blizzard used to be the game company that put out cool new IPs, but they have decided that they're too scared to do anything new anymore. And this is just, then they're going to be like, well, every time we try something new, everybody bites our head off. And like, this isn't new though. You guys are trying to cash in on a trend of people spending exorbitant amount of monies on a mobile game, because I have no clue why. Microtransactions are the worst. And I wish, this is in my opinion, this is an area I hate these words are even coming out of my mouth, but these are places where government oversight's needed. I'm sorry, but game industries are just screwing people over. I mean, in my opinion, it's a form of gambling. And it's addictive. There are people out there who spend so much money on mobile games because it's addictive, and that they just see. It's hard to see, right? When I was younger, I got paid physically. Got a check, went to the bank, had cash. I don't ever see any of my paycheck anymore. It goes into my account as digital. I see a nice, pretty thing that says you have X number of dollars in your account. Swipe a card, pay my bills. Cash never goes through my fingers anymore. So it's a kind of a weird disconnect with your money anymore. And I think a lot of these people that do this, they have that weird disconnect with money. It's not a real thing. It's just numbers on a screen. And as long as they keep that numbers from going negative, they're okay. And so they'll spend their last $5 on Diablo or some other stupid mobile game because they want that cool skin, or they got to beat that guy who just is causing them so much problems. I don't know. This game has got me quite bitter because it is a great game, looks great, plays great, but it is a really dick move and a really douchebag move. Yeah, which I guess is what Blizzard's all about anymore, right? They've got all these scandals going on because they're a dick and douchebag company anymore.
Yep. But, it's just not going to change because that's just the market. The younger generation is about mobiles anymore. And because of that, they don't realize that they're ruining video games by doing this. I mean, because the more mobile becomes popular, the more money it makes, the more big developers, you kind of look at EA and others like Diablo or Blizzard are doing it. And, the more they make, the more they're going to keep doing this. And it's just hurting the game industry, plain and simple. So it's sad. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. And, one last thing from me is basically, one, don't play this game. And if you do, don't put any money into it. You're just feeding the beast pretty much in that sense. And what one of my worries is now, this is not the first game, but we're seeing this trend lately where these mobile games are, it was all within the mobile market, right? And now it's starting to bleed into the PC market. And we're seeing this slowly happening, right? Diablo is not the first game to do this, but to launch mobile and onto PC, right? I think Genshin Impact may have been the first or something like that. And we're seeing all these games starting to bleed into the PC market. And what has me worried is that's, but these big developers, not independents, but big developers are going to go that way, where every game is going to be monetized to this level. Every game nowadays is monetized, except for those indie games and stuff. But any big budget game is going to be monetized. But we're going to get to this monetization level because we as gamers, and not us necessarily, but those gamers that do, they're allowing this to happen, right? They go out and they spend this money for these games and they pay more money, and these games rack in a crap ton of money. So of course they're going to do it. And they're going to go as far as they've gone with Diablo Immortal, and probably even further down the line, because we allow it, right? We go out there, not us in particular, but people do, like you guys said, and they spend thousands upon thousands of dollars on, exactly right, Pat, a gambling system. That's all it is. It's like going into casino and spending $10,000 on a slot machine, except for winning money or winning jewels in this case, right? I mean, it's the same kind of concept. So, and it's all random. I think the odds of getting a legendary was like, I can't remember they have a breakdown, I think, somewhere online, but it's a very small amount of odds of getting any type of legendary gem, a 5-star gem, because these gems go up in stars, right? It's not just a legendary gem. You have a legendary gem 1-star and a 2-star and a 3-star and a 4-star and a 5-star. So, you're looking for that legendary gem that's a 5-star. And so even if you spend the money to get these drops, you're not guaranteed that. And the odds of guaranteed a 5-star legendary are very minimal. So all in all, just don't play this game.
Yeah. So basically what they've done is they've taken the ultimate RNG game and decided to put it into real life terms. It's the ultimate RNG game. Instead of going out and running dungeons over and over and over to get the best gear, you just got to throw money in that slot machine. Just throw money in there. You got to hit it big eventually, right? Except for, with real life gambling, you hopefully get a chance to pay out some cash. In this game, they're going to give you a digital legendary gem that has no monetary value outside of that game. So people, just be mindful with your money.
Yep.
In mobile games are just like any game, right? In my opinion, if you love the game you're playing, help the developer out. Don't give the developer your paycheck. I mean, that's just the way it works, right? Unless you're investing in that company, like we all buy $60, $70 games. If that's what you think your price point is worth, then pay that. Don't pay it for this game. But, if this game came out on mobile and it was a $30 game, I might actually look at playing it. Giving them $30 after all I've seen and done, if the paywall stuff was gone, I would probably give them some money, because it is a good game to play on my mobile phone when I'm just chilling, waiting for something to happen, or just waiting. It is that a decent of a game, but stop giving them money for chances at loot and loot boxes and garbage like that. I mean, Fortnite has ruined the gaming market with that kind of crap, and everybody sees that and they're like, how do I get some of that easy Fortnite money?
Yep. RNG, run and go broke. So don't do it. Don't pay for it. And take cash out of the bank accounts and just use that a little bit. It will help you keep track.
Scrooge McDuck it.
Exactly. Just don't go diving into a bucket full of quarters.
You might come back with more than just change.
Yeah, you come back as a vegetable.
All right. Do you guys have anything? I'm sure we could talk about this a lot more, but if you are out there and you are interested in like all the monetization schemes of this game and just kind of want to know more about how sleazy of a setup this game is, there are tons of videos that go into great detail about all the types of microtransactions and various things of that nature. So go out there and just check it out. There's a ton of stuff. People are talking about it quite a bit. And I think everybody has the same kind of, I think everybody, all the gaming community has pretty much the same outlook that we do, right? as far as this game goes. And yeah, I guess if you enjoy it, I mean, people are going to do what they're going to do, but don't feed them this, this type of game, the money for this type of game, because they're just going to continue to embrace that. If they can get away with it once, there's nothing going to stop them from doing it again. And I'm really looking forward to Diablo 4. It looks amazing. I'm like super ready to play it. But if it's going to be monetized like this, which they say that it's not, but I'll believe it when I see it. But if it is, that's going to suck, because I love the Diablo franchise. It's one of my favorites from Blizzard, and I hate to see it go down the drain. So you guys got anything else that you wanted to add? No? Okay. Shane, you had something? No?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. Let us know down in the comments. What did you think? Have you played Diablo Immortal? What do you think about it? What do you think of microtransactions in general? And also this whole microtransaction setup that Diablo Immortal and other games like it have created for the market. Is it bad? Is it good? I don't know why it would be good, but if you think it is, let us know why. And how does that transition into the future of games, right? Where are we going to see this more and more? I think yes, unfortunately, until we put a stop to it. And that's what we need to do as gamers, is put a stop to this stuff. It should have stopped at DLC. We all hated that. And now we're all like, it's fine. No, it's not fine. It's still a bad thing that we shouldn't have. And we should have stopped it then, and we didn't. But there's always time to turn things around. So, but thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.
See ya.